At 40, you're standing at a critical crossroads. You've spent 2 decades building a career, raising a family, and navigating the complexities of adult life. But financial independence still feels out of reach. The good news is that 40 is not too late. In fact, it's the perfect age to execute a blueprint for financial independence. You have enough earning power, enough time left in your working years, and enough self-awareness to make smart choices. This guide will walk you through the exact steps a 40-year-old should take to achieve financial freedom by 50, 55, or 60, depending on your circumstances and ambitions. First, let's talk about your financial baseline. At 40, you need a crystal-clear picture of where you stand. This means calculating your net worth down to the dollar. Add up every asset you own, your home equity, retirement accounts, investment portfolio, cash savings, and any other property of value. Then subtract every debt, your mortgage, car loans, credit cards, student loans, and personal debts. The number you arrive at is your net worth. Don't be discouraged if it's lower than you'd hoped. Most 40-year-olds have a net worth between $50,000 and $500,000, depending on their career, location, and life choices. What matters now is the direction you're moving. You need to commit to increasing this number by at least 10% every single year for the next decade. Your income is your greatest wealth-building asset at 40. Unlike a 25-year-old, you likely have significant earning power. You may have specialized skills, professional certifications, or years of industry experience that command premium compensation. The question is, are you leveraging this asset fully? Many 40-year-olds leave money on the table by staying in comfortable but stagnant positions. Consider whether you should negotiate a raise, switch to a higher-paying role, or develop a side income stream. Even a 10% increase in income can accelerate your path to independence by years. If you earn $100,000 annually, a 10% raise means $10,000 more per year. Over 10 years, that's $100,000 before investment returns. This is not about working yourself to extinction. It's about being intentional with the prime earning years you have left. Now let's address the biggest wealth killer at 40, lifestyle inflation. You've worked hard, and you deserve comfort and pleasure. But the trap is subtle. You earn more, so you spend more. You buy a nicer car, upgrade your home, increase your dining out budget. Before you know it, your spending rises to match your income, and you're no closer to independence. The path to financial freedom requires a deliberate gap between what you earn and what you spend. And it's the most important metric in your financial independence journey. If you spend 95% of your income and save 5%, you're moving toward independence very slowly. If you spend 70% and save 30%, you're accelerating dramatically. The goal for a 40-year-old serious about independence is a savings rate of 30 to 50% of after-tax income. This sounds extreme, but it's entirely achievable without deprivation. It requires intentionality, not sacrifice. Building this savings rate starts with understanding your spending. Track every dollar for 1 month. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or pen and paper. Categorize your spending into needs, wants, and investments. Needs are housing, food, insurance, and utilities. Wants are dining out, entertainment, hobbies, and luxury goods. Investments are contributions to retirement accounts, brokerage investments, and education that increases your earning power. Most 40-year-olds spend 60% on needs, 30% on wants, and 10% on investments. To hit a 35% savings rate, you might shift to 50% on needs, 30% on investments, and 20% on wants. This requires cutting unnecessary wants, but not eliminating joy from your life. You choose what matters most and protect that ruthlessly while trimming everything else. Housing is typically your largest expense, and it's often the biggest leverage point for increasing your savings rate. The standard advice to spend no more than 30% of your gross income on housing is solid, but at 40, you should go lower if possible. If you earn $100,000, 30% means $30,000 per year or $2,500 per month. Many 40-year-olds spend $2,000 on a mortgage or rent and another $500 on taxes, insurance, and maintenance. This leaves almost no room for savings. Consider whether your current home is aligned with your independence goal. Could you downsize, relocate to a lower-cost area, or pay off your mortgage faster by making extra principal payments? Some of the fastest paths to independence involve deliberately choosing a modest home that's either paid off or requires minimal payments. This frees up cash flow for investments that truly build wealth. Retirement accounts are your foundation at 40. If you haven't maximized your 401k or equivalent workplace plan, do it now. In 2024, you can contribute $30,000 per year to a 401k if you're over 50 years old. If you're still under 50, the limit is $23,500. These accounts grow tax-deferred, which is incredibly powerful over the next 20 to 25 years. If you invest $23,500 per year for 20 years and earn an average of 7% annually, you'll have $1,100,000. That's enough to live on using the 4% withdrawal rule. The 4% withdrawal rule suggests you can withdraw about $44,000 per year indefinitely without running out of money. Max out your retirement accounts before investing elsewhere. It's the single best tax advantage tool available to you. Beyond retirement accounts, you need a taxable brokerage account. This is where you'll invest money beyond what your retirement accounts allow. The beauty of a taxable account is flexibility. You can withdraw money anytime without penalties, unlike retirement accounts. At 40, you should aim to invest aggressively in a diversified portfolio. This means low-cost index funds tracking the total stock market or total market indices. Individual stocks are tempting, but they underperform index funds for most investors. A simple portfolio might be 70% total stock market index fund and 30% international stock index fund. Some people add real estate investment trusts or bonds, but the core principle is diversification and low costs. Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab offer excellent index funds with expense ratios under 0.1%. The difference between a 0.1% fee and a 1% fee compounds to hundreds of thousands of dollars over 20 years. Real estate beyond your primary residence is worth considering at 40. Real estate offers leverage, which stocks don't. You can put down 20% on a rental property and control 100% of the asset. If that property appreciates 4% per year, you're earning 4% on 100% of the value while only investing 20%. This is powerful. Additionally, rental income provides cash flow. If you can buy a rental property that generates monthly income above your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance, you're building wealth through someone else's rent. Many 40-year-olds find that 1 or 2 rental properties accelerate their independence timeline significantly. However, real estate requires management, capital reserves for repairs, and tolerance for tenant issues. It's not passive like index funds. Only pursue it if you're willing to be a landlord or hire a property manager. Debt is the enemy of financial independence at 40. High-interest debt like credit cards and personal loans should be eliminated immediately. These debts often carry interest rates of 15 to 20%, which erase any investment returns you might earn. If you have credit card debt, pause other investments and attack this aggressively. Sell items you don't need, pick up a side gig, cut spending ruthlessly, and get these balances to zero. It might take 6 to 12 months, but it's worth it. Low-interest debt like mortgages and student loans are different. A 3% mortgage or a 4% student loan won't prevent you from becoming financially independent. Some argue you should pay these off early, while others argue you should invest aggressively and pay the minimum. The math says investing wins if you earn more than the interest rate. But psychology matters too. If carrying debt keeps you stressed and prevents you from sleeping well, the emotional cost justifies paying it off early. At 40, your peace of mind has real value. Insurance is unsexy but essential at 40. You need adequate health insurance, which protects you from medical bankruptcy. You need term life insurance if anyone depends on your income. You need disability insurance to protect your earning power. Long-term disability insurance that covers 60% of your income for the duration of your working years is critical. Many 40-year-olds overlook this because they feel healthy, but disability is far more common than death for people in their 40s and 50s. You also need an emergency fund of 6 to 12 months of expenses. This prevents you from being forced to sell investments at the worst possible time when an unexpected expense arises. These are not investments, but they're essential protection for the investments you make. At 40, you're entering the compound growth phase. You have 20 to 25 years until retirement. If you invest $50,000 per year and earn an average of 7% annually, you'll have over $2,200,000 in 20 years. That $2,200,000 can generate $88,000 per year using the 4% withdrawal rule indefinitely. This assumes you stop working and never contribute another dollar. But you'll likely continue earning and investing. If you invest $50,000 per year for 25 years with 7% returns, you'll have nearly $3 million. The compounding effect is staggering. Most of your wealth at retirement won't come from your contributions. It'll come from investment returns on those contributions. This is why starting at 40 is still viable. You have enough time. Taxes are a massive consideration in wealth building that many 40-year-olds ignore. A $100,000 income might leave you with $72,000 after federal and state income taxes. That's gone immediately. Then you're saving from the remaining amount. But you can reduce your tax bill through intentional strategies. Maxing your retirement accounts reduces your taxable income dollar for dollar. Health savings accounts do the same if you have a high-deductible health plan. When you're earning strong income, these tax-advantaged accounts are worth every penny of contribution. Additionally, as you build investment income, consider harvesting tax losses to offset gains. Keep detailed records of your investments for tax efficiency. Some people save thousands per year simply by being tax-conscious. At 40, this matters more because your earning years are finite. Every dollar you save in taxes is a dollar that compounds toward independence. Your career at 40 deserves intentional management. You're not trying to climb the ladder mindlessly. You're trying to maximize income in alignment with your independence goal. This might mean staying in your current role if it pays well and allows time for side projects. It might mean switching companies for a significant raise. It might mean developing expertise in a high-paying field. The key is intentionality. Spend a few hours every year assessing your career trajectory. Ask yourself if you're still building valuable skills or if you're coasting. Ask if your compensation is market rate. Ask if you're working 60 hours per week for a 20% premium, or if you could find a role that pays equally well for 40 hours. Work-life balance matters for independence because you can't maximize wealth if you're burned out. The goal is efficient earning, not maximum earning at the cost of your health and relationships.